What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode. You know, everybody's got a quirk. Mine just so happens to be that every single time that I mention Sonic, alcohol appears. Some people might call this experimental therapy. I prefer the term alcoholism, but I'm perfectly fine. It's not my fault this happens every time I mention Sonic. If I really had a problem, I wouldn't be able to count properly. 1, 2, CD, 3. Sonic CD, commonly referred to by myself as the black sheep of the original trilogy. Some might argue this, but if your very existence is the reason the original trilogy isn't, an original trilogy, I rest my case. In the early 90s, Sega was dominating the console market. They were the only company capable of dethroning Nintendo as the leaders of the video game world. With the success of the Sega Genesis and their flagship franchise Sonic the Hedgehog, things were looking really good for Sega at the time. But this was also around the time that CDs were hitting it big. CDs could store more information, produce higher quality videos, so if Sega could tap into this market, games could become more elaborate, hold more storage to make games bigger, and if done right, you could even play audio CDs on your console. So, on December 12th, 1991 in Japan, that dream finally came true with the Mega CD, also known as the Sega CD everywhere else in the world, the next leap forward in the gaming industry. Not only was Sega able to manage all of the above, but the Sega CD included a faster CPU, full motion graphics, poor sales figures. Yeah, the Sega CD didn't exactly bomb like everyone thinks, but it didn't do great either. It still turned a profit, but didn't live up to the expectations Sega had of it being the next big thing. I mean, for $300, I could have all the piss-poor sports games that I wanted, or I could go spend $300 on a Super Nintendo and Donkey Kong Country, what seems like the better deal. To be fair, the Sega CD did have a small selection of good games. Echo the Dolphin got its start here. Night Trap was everything you wanted in a cinematic experience on a console without quality or gameplay, but you did not truly own a Sega CD if you didn't have the standout title from the titular blue mascot. You know, this is one of the only Sonic games I've never beaten. Sonic CD is a weird duck in the franchise. The game started development in Japan before Sonic 2, but ended up releasing between Sonic 2 and 3, meaning this game is more of a sequel to Sonic 1. And I mean, you can see it. This was the first game ever released by Sonic Team. Sonic 1 was released before any smaller subsidiary studios were established. Sonic 2, on the other hand, was developed by STI, the Sega Technical Institute, not the disease. Yuji Naka, the developer of Sonic, had issues with the upper management in Japan, so he did what anybody in his shoes would have done. He quit Sega of Japan to go work for Sega of America, which was owned by Sega of Japan. So Sonic CD was left to be developed by what remained of the original Sonic 1 team. Heading the team was Naoto Oshima, the original character designer for Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Robotnik. I'm not sure how much experience he had in programming, but at least they put together a team that knew what made the original game, so average. Sega tasked Oshima and the team to develop a successor on the Sega CD. Knowing this, they had much more ambitious ideas. More powerful hardware meant more capabilities. They could create an orchestrated soundtrack, or multiple stages with time travel mechanics, fully animated cutscenes. They did none of that except for time travel. We did have some fairly noticeable upgrades though. Some of the additional sprite work in the game is really cool. I'm not a big fan of reverting back to Sonic 1's sprite design, but some of these expressions, like with Amy Rose, had a ton of personality, and there are some neat transitions that would only be possible on the Genesis. Plus, if you pay attention to Sonic's character for long enough. We also got alternate music tracks for each of the different stages, past, present, and future, plus even alternate music tracks for each version of the game. This actually caused a delay in North America, as Sonic CD was pushed back 2 months so Sega could focus on adding a more rich and complex soundtrack. In my eyes, this definitely paid off, because without that, we would not have gotten one of the greatest opening intros in a video game, Sonic Boom. And I'm not talking about this one. This is one of my favorite intros to any video game ever, and I was really surprised to figure out that this was done by Toei Animation, the same company responsible for This was so well crafted. It was everything Sonic was at the time. Quirky, cocky, unable to swim, determined. This is the first time we ever had seen Sonic animated outside the creepy ass promotional videos. However, I am sure that we have all seen this opening intro before. But this is the intro on the original console. It was a bit different. Seeing this on the Genesis really shows how much this game has aged, but I do think it adds a bit of charm as well. It still looks good and definitely shows it off as a staple of its time period. The version we're all used to seeing is from the PC port released in 1995, but most of us probably know this game from Sonic Mega Collection released in 2001, where you can do everything except play the original game. This always baffled me as a child. You could watch the opening animation, but the game wasn't readily available. Developers said it was because there wasn't enough storage space for the disc to handle it, but Sonic CD is 21 megabytes. Is that really the best excuse you could come up with? This excuse led to Sonic Gems Collection released in 2005, a $40 excuse to sell Sonic CD. You could play Sonic the Fighters, Sonic R, a couple of other obscure Sonic games, but if you bought this game, you were buying it for Sonic CD. For many people like myself, this is the first time we were ever able to experience these games, to discover what made Sonic CD so amazing. And to reviewers in the 90s, this is the most critically praised game. This is what is touted as the best of the original Not a Trilogy. This is the definitive Sonic experience. This is Sonic at its best. If you're only going to play one Sonic game in your life, you have to make sure it's Sonic CD. And well, that is Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh god damn! This is Sonic CD, the next Sonic game that can only be played on the upgraded Sega CD. So why does it look worse than the original? It's not just because it's brighter. The original game just looks like it has so much more level of polish. The textures pop out of the environment more, and I feel more excited to jump into that than Sonic CD. I feel like the decision to go with a darker color palette was inspired by the fact that Sonic CD has a darker story, which is actually a first in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Sonic CD tells the story of Little Planet, an extraterrestrial body residing in the sky that Dr. Robotnik is trying to destroy. For some reason. The game puts a large focus on time travel. While progressing through these levels, your goal is to get all 7 of not the Chaos Emeralds, but the Time Stones to defeat Dr. Robotnik while traveling from the past to the present to the future. This is a really cool idea. I absolutely love the concept of time travel, but I'll go more into detail later. Sonic CD is also the first game to introduce one of our most famous antagonists, Metal Sonic. If you need me to explain who Metal Sonic is, figure it out. Metal Sonic looks so cool on this box art. I've always loved his design, and of course he's still making cameos in Sonic to this day. But of course, the standout character here is obviously Amy Rose, a 12-year-old girl, I promise I checked, who's a little too obsessed with Sonic. Being the damsel in distress, it's obvious that Sonic has to protect her, but Sonic just doesn't have the time. There's a couple more priorities here. Amy Rose has been through a lot of design changes since 1993, but this right here is by far my favorite. It's just got that early 90s color palette. It doesn't look like her newer designs, where it feels a bit more simple and bland in my opinion. This early design shows off exactly what I would imagine an obsessed teenage girl looks like. Plus, it always kind of gave me young Madonna vibes, and the 80s influence is something I've always appreciated in early Sonic games. I think it works really well. But this will be my first time playing through the entirety of Sonic CD. I tried to do it a long time ago, but I quit due to boredom. So I want to give this game a fair shot. This is one of the critics' favorite games, so I want to see exactly what all the rave is about. Well, that was disappointing. Ask anybody who's a fan of Sonic and they will tell you either two things: Sonic CD is the best Sonic game or the worst 2D Sonic game. Now, usually whenever I hear this, I want to jump on the opposite train, try to find out exactly what it is that makes this game tick. But in my first playthrough of Sonic CD, I just really did not like it. Like, these levels are so bland. Like, I don't need something eccentric in every single level, but I at least want to feel like the game is offering me something for playing through them. Like, you take Scrap Brain Zone, Metropolis Zone, Mystic Cave Zone. These are some of the weakest levels in their respective games, but there are still core elements in each that make them feel like they have some sort of identity. So what kind of fucking identity do I get from Collision Chaos Zone? Tidal Tempest, Quartz Quadrant, Wacky Workbench, who the fuck came up with these names? Sure, level names and identity aren't that important in the grand scheme of things, but level design is the main thing that separated Sonic from the competition. Like, look at Chemical Plant Zone or any level from Super Mario World. Which one do I think is more interesting? The fact that I'm saying it could be any level from Super Mario World should answer that question. Take Oil Ocean Zone from Sonic 2. This is one of my favorite levels in Sonic history, thank you very much. Silly name for a level, but excellent in execution. There's oil dripping from every orifice imaginable. A pool is formed underneath the level that doesn't kill you. This level feels like an oil tycoon's paradise, which is exactly what I think of when I think of Oil Ocean Zone. Metallic Madness? That sounds like a star in Super Mario 64. Now, even though I don't like the game design, maybe the gameplay is better. No. This is a Sonic game. It plays like a Sonic game. You can jump, spin, bounce, spikes, collect rings, spikes, but there's a brand new move introduced called the Super Peel Out. This move is super cool. I actually didn't know it existed until after my first playthrough. All you have to do is hold A to have Sonic charge up and play similar to the spin dash. So the spin dashes in this game had worked so much better than the Super Peel Out. I'm sure what happened is the Super Peel Out was finished, and then once they saw Sonic 2, they realized, we gotta have that in the game. The Super Peel Out is fine, but it's pretty much inferior to the spin dash in almost every single way. It is a bit faster, but since you don't use the spin attack upon releasing the Super Peel Out, I always tend to go with a spin dash. I will say though, if we're judging these moves based on solely the sprite design, Super Peel Out, easy winner. Moving on. Sonic 3D also has these 3D sections as well, so put on your 3D glasses, realize that this small transition was purely meant for aesthetic, take your 3D glasses off, enter the special stage, put them back on. Yes, special stages return from Sonic 1, get 50 rings and jump through the giant ring at the end of the stage. They deviated from this for Sonic 2, where special stages were entered by goalposts, but I like the concept of having a ring at the end of the stage far more. I feel like it makes for better pacing between levels. These special stages though are a really cool idea. You have this small area full of spaceships, or drones, or UFOs, I'm still not entirely sure, and the goal is to destroy them all before you run out of time. If you hit any water or go out of bounds, you lose time much faster. It's far more creative than the other two and gives the player far more control. However, the controls feel absolutely terrible. Sonic's movement just feels way too tight. Many times I end up bypassing spaceships entirely to ensure that I don't run out of time. And then once I finally do line myself up right, the drone slash spaceships slash UFO slash pieces of shit move out of the way. I understand that they should be moving and they should add a degree of difficulty, but most of the times this is just completely up to luck. I don't like timing my jump after spinning around 3 times just for my target to suddenly jerk out of the way. Now, unlike Sonic 1, beating the special stages gives you the Time Stone instead of the Chaos Emerald, which means there's no actual Super Sonic in Sonic CD. It's really unfortunate though. The only reason for Sonic to actually obtain the Time Stones is, can you please stop? Getting all the Time Stones rewards you with the good ending, much like the first and second game, and pretty much every game after that. But Sonic CD also introduces these transporters. These are hidden machines in the past that if destroyed can alter the future. See, Sonic CD has 2 futures. The bad one, where Dr. Robotnik has taken over and everything looks robotic, and the good future, where the transporter is destroyed in the past and all of the enemies no longer exist. I love this concept. Being able to explore every inch of the level to potentially see an alternate future gives the game so much replay value and adds another layer to the story. The only problem with this is, the levels aren't interesting enough for me to actually care. Quartz Quadrant, if you were to ask me if this was the past, present, or future version of this stage, I honestly couldn't tell you the difference. Now, getting to the past or the future involves going through these signposts. By hitting these checkpoints and maintaining a high speed, you can travel to the respective time period for the level. And again, that's really cool. However, again, the level design of Sonic CD does not adhere to this at all! Remember all the frustrating puzzle elements of Sonic 1? Yeah, that's the entirety of Sonic CD. I appreciate the ambition. Sonic CD uses better hardware, and in turn, Sonic levels are the biggest that they've ever been. Developers want players to explore everything that the game has to offer. But using this in conjunction with the time travel mechanic is so contradictory! You want to make levels larger for players to explore, but your main gimmick involves going fast, which your level design completely contradicts! Maybe I'm being too hard on this game. Maybe if I play it again, I can find some sort of newfound appreciation for it. Yeah, that can happen, right? Why are there enemies behind the foreground images? Why are the controls in these puzzles so meticulous? Why are all the boss fights so boring? Look here, all you have to do is stand behind Eggman and hit him. Here, you don't even fight him, it's just progressing through a pinball machine. I thought the Metal Sonic fight was really cool. You're trying to avoid him while getting chased by Eggman, but why isn't this the final boss fight? The final boss fight, all you have to do is avoiding these spinning appendages or something. It comes out of nowhere and then the game just ends. This is the next generation of Sonic? Maybe I could do it a third time. You know, third time's the charm. You know, maybe I can look at it from a different angle and find something new in the... I'm starting to see why people like Sonic CD. I have been very negative in my opinions towards Sonic CD, but after playing this game 3 whole times, there's some wonderful stuff that I can appreciate about it. After slowing down and really combing through these levels, there's some really nice platforming here. Of course, it's still a pain to travel from past and future, and there's the typical Sonic bullshit that shows up, but getting the good endings for each level is really satisfying.
I'm just not gonna go and do it for every level. Adding these story elements to a Sonic game does add an extra layer of depth, and it's nice to see that Sonic Team was thinking in a broader sense when crafting this game. Sonic gave us Metal Sonic and Amy, who we all know would show up constantly throughout Sonic's 30-year history, so without Sonic CD, we wouldn't have been blessed with... This is also the first game to introduce voice acting to the series, albeit it's less than 10 words are spoken, but it's still there. I don't think I'm gonna change my mind on the overall layout of the game. It's still a clunky mess at times, but I can definitely see why people like Sonic CD. It is definitely the most ambitious Sonic the Hedgehog title to date, and possibly the biggest oddball in the mainline series. We'll get to you eventually. I think if Sonic CD came out before Sonic 2, this would have found much more success, and we'd have a higher synonymous praise across the community. Sonic 2 took the core of Sonic 1 and polished it to a T. So when coming back to Sonic CD, it just feels like a massive downgrade. I guess if I had to give an opinion on Sonic CD, it's, yeah, that one.
And that is Sonic CD. You know, What the? Mental therapy, I prefer the term alcoholism. But I'm perfectly fine, it's not my fault this happens every time I mention Sonic. If I really had a problem, I wouldn't be able to count. Okay, we're done. We're done.